Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to share some of my dating musings with you because I had some realizations yesterday, literally when I was in the hot tub on my phone and this man had asked me to coffee and I immediately unmatched him. And I realized like this whole, I don't know if you were tuned into the coffee date discourse that happened like a couple months ago, but I realized that all of this debate is pretty irrelevant because the reason I unmatched was like physiological. Let's get into it. So, I'm talking to this guy on an app, okay? He's perfectly attractive, tall, whatever. Honestly, was like really cute, to be honest with you. And we were talking a little chit chat back and forth. I'll be honest, I feel like the way he decided to riff was not exactly the way I want to riff. And I just felt like, I don't know if this person is funny. I will say that to begin. But he was very attractive and you don't always know what's going on when it's on an app, right? Then he pulls out the, should we get coffee someday this weekend? Whoa. First of all, a weekend day for coffee or tea? Sorry, he said coffee or tea. Should we get coffee or tea someday this weekend? No. Sorry. I was so instantly appalled and unattracted. And let me tell you why. Because it's not why you think. This is the part that I hate. They think it's because, oh, she just wants a free dinner. I literally Uber Eats for myself so much that I promise you, me getting the food I want, nothing's stopping me. Nothing's stopping me. That would not be the reason that I would go and spend time with a stranger, especially at this point in my life. When I was in college, a free meal is like attractive, sure. These days, that I promise you, that's not the reason, okay? It's the fact that I immediately know that this is what he does with everyone because it's low effort and it's his routine, and that I have not gotten any extra thoughtfulness. I have not been put into a category where I am taken more seriously. This is the elementary round where they send it out to everyone. There's 7 more steps before you even get to the part where you share resumes in like a job cycle. Do you know what I mean? Like they do this with everyone. This is such a low investment way to ask somebody to connect. Like I feel like we're on LinkedIn. It's aromantic. It's such an ick for me. And it's not because, it's not even like I'm like categorically against a coffee date. It's more what it says that's the suggestion. You know what I mean? It's like the fact that it just really icks me out to be, and again, the reason this icks me out is because it's not just that I'm used to people, like a good amount of people will offer to put in a high effort kind of date or at least some sort of thoughtfulness. So like, yeah, I'm looking for that because I've had that before and I've had it mostly. Like I've never ended up seeing a guy multiple times who was like thoughtless. You know what I mean? And it comes from experience. And that's the main thing is like, people don't understand that when it's like a turnoff to suggest a coffee date, it's not like, yes, you should run a strict program, yada, yada. And like, I do want to make a full video about like all my strictness, but this doesn't even come from like a strict rule. It's like, I immediately am unattracted to whatever sort of effort levels and approach is going on over there. It's the antithesis of making a girl feel special. It's very, and you might say, well, why do you deserve to feel special? Because I do. Because, and this is something that you can't like convince people of, but like in my experience, I have been treated a certain way. I have a standard for treatment that I enjoy and have been able to maintain. Why would I drop it now? And that's where most women are coming from when they're like, this is icky to me. Well, for like certain icks like this, where it's like, the reason this is icky is because I've had better and I'm used to better, and why would I drop better for you? No matter how cute and attractive you are. And if you don't have that sort of like whatever standard, that's fine. You might have had, for some reason, maybe, I honestly think those people just haven't had as many experiences, to be honest with you. Because here's the truth of it also. In order for something to work, like say we're talking about, well, here's the thing. When I've dated girls, they've never suggested coffee. They've always suggested something more interesting or like artistic or creative or something that feels like worth my time. But like and what I mean by that is like, and you might say, well, oh, coffee dates are supposed to save time. No, if we don't know that we like each other enough for more than a coffee date, or you don't assume that about me, you don't like me enough. And there's people who do. If you think you might only like me enough to go on a coffee date, I'm offended. Because we shouldn't be here, because there's people who like me so much more than that. And I only like people who are very obviously into me. Like, I need someone to be 10 toes down. Like, I'm not into this, oh, we'll see if I'm like into your and if the issues, no. I was going to say if the issue is you don't know my personality, then we need to talk more. We could talk on the phone. But actually, no, because I'm inherently so just like, I personally think I'm pretty cool. I come off pretty cool. And that seems to be not a rare opinion. So for somebody to be unsure about me, like, not unsure as in like, oh, we're going to be together, because we probably not. But sure enough that you want to put some thought into a time spent. If you're not even sure enough for that, then we shouldn't be talking, because you're not that interested. And I think that that's actually maybe part of it, is that we know that that means you're not that interested, but we're all trying to play this game. I do think that some guys have like a program for themselves of like, this is how I date. I never betray the formula. And I hate that. Because I can feel it, right? I can feel that you have like an approach and a system and a process and a due process. And it always starts with a coffee date or a tea date, because you're never going to deviate from making sure that you don't spend very much money on this person. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it doesn't become an issue until you say it. Like, they don't understand that in asking for that, I now am just thinking that I'm just going to end up assuming that you're a little bit cheap, that you're a little bit like, and that if that's not true, then you just can't move that way. It's just how it is. I don't make the rules, and I also don't control the way my body physically gets icked out by a man who seems scared of looking like he's trying. Or like only, like, you should only connect, and this is the other thing, is like, you should only be connecting with the girls that you can like do that with, because you know that you like them, so you know that you want to spend more than 20 minutes with it. It's like a little bit insulting, like, to be like, let's have a speed date. That's how it feels. Do you know what I mean? And it might not be insulting to everyone, and that's totally fine, but you can't determine what makes people feel a certain way and feel like a dissonance between like the way you move and the way they want to be approached. And to argue that is to argue with physiology. Like, it made me realize, like, I literally was on my phone in the hot tub when this happened. And I just went, ew, Unmatched. And I was like, it actually doesn't matter how cute you are. I'm grossed out. Grossed out is an exaggeration. No, it's not. Like, there's nothing more attractive to me than a man being like a little unsure. And that's how it comes off, is like, I'm unsure how I feel about you, so let's do a get to know ya interview. It feels like you're setting up an interview. And you might say, oh, well, a date is an interview. I want it to feel more like a vibe. If it feels like an interview because we're that unsure, then why are we even here? And this is, now again, it's all about experience. A lot of people don't experience the sparks and the things where you really are like, infatuated has a negative connotation, but infatuated with someone, or really, really just like whatever about someone, and them being that to you, whether those are aligned people or not, is actually not super relevant here. Like, sometimes you might be the one who's super infatuated, or they might be the one who's super infatuated. But when you've experienced both in either capacity, whether it's reciprocated or not, you understand that it's a fuck yes or a fuck no. And these, oh, I'm not sure, let's go have an interview, it's gross. It's a no. That tells me that I'm really a no for you, because that's not a fuck yes sort of way to move. Even if that's their process, which I honestly do think some guys do that with everyone, no matter how they feel about her. Because, like, even if he might think that she could be a certain prospect, like, oh, let's humble her for a second, she has to go through the same process as everyone else to get the golden ticket. Like, it's just like hazing. It feels like hazing to me. Like, I'm so unattracted to it. And here's the thing. Here's the main rub. I don't have to put up with it. I never have. There are real people with real thoughtful ideas for dates who really actually want to get to know you enough that they want to make you feel special. That's the rub. That's the part that you have to remember. People will approach you the way you want to be approached. They exist. As long as you don't get caught in the net of all these lies about, oh, well, you should go on a coffee date because it's the most efficient way. And efficiency is not romantic. Smell the flowers. Where are the flowers? Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't like technical, like, frickin' data. What's that Google sheet? Whatever approach to dating. I hate it. Spreadsheet. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, sorry to that fella. I unmatched him. He was perfectly attractive, and I'm sure he will catch someone with his low effort. I have no interest in low effort hot people. Like, oh my God. What a nightmare. I'm sorry. What a nightmare. Anyway, those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you think. Let me know what, like, dating questions or topics you have for me to talk about. Please. Okay, I'll upload this ASAP. I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.